Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. And today we have Johnny, Reese, and Sean with me. Happy New Year to everybody. I think I spoke to everybody on here since New Year. So I want Happy New Year to all of our viewers. And welcome if you're new. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. It's a new year. You might as well subscribe to my channel, right?
Might as well.
Right, that's right. Right. All right. So today we're going to be covering the season our series premiere of Love During Lockup. All right, so we have the first couple that they showed us was Haley and Dalton, right? Okay, so the scene starts out where Haley, she's like writing him a letter. She's telling us how um, I miss why she wrote him a letter every day for 60 days, but she does mention she's been writing him a letter every day for 60 days. And she says so far he's been in for a year and a half on an 8-year prison sentence, right? And he tells us we also see Dalton, and he tells us he came from a well-off family, and him and her they actually got to see each other. They said 3 months ago they had their first visit. We also learned that Haley is a single mom. She has one kid, and recently she was in a car accident, and so she almost died in this car accident. She apparently sued, and she won some settlement money. She said she got like an 80K settlement. And so she goes to see an attorney because she wants to talk to an attorney to see about getting Dalton out. Um, as she talks to the lawyer, she reveals that she has spent like 12,000 towards like his attorney for his stuff that he has going on. Um, the attorney is kind of advising, he asks her, how money have you spent on this man? And she says about $25,000. So that's a big chunk of her 80K right there. Um, and so basically the attorney is like, she needs to, think about what she's doing with this man and spending all this money on him. Um, Haley also talks about, because they do like a little insert kind of clip, and they're talking about, they ask her about phone sex. If her and Dawson are having phone sex, and she's like, "No, I don't really see kind of a point in phone sex when all he's going to hear is silence on the other end." But she did show us a piece of paper where he drew an outline of his penis, and she did say it does scare her, the outline drawing of it. So, what did you guys think of Haley and Dalton? Yeah,
Um,
like when I first saw her, I was like, oh my goodness, the hair. But I
yeah,
feel like it kind of fits her, you know, kind of fits her and her style, kind of. I don't know. What did you guys think of her?
well, I felt like I don't know. I mean, maybe it could be real since they went to school together and stuff, but I mean, he didn't remember her, so I don't know.
I,
And then it's
I
like,
forgot about that part.
yeah, and the fact that, she has a kid, so it kind of, to me, I don't understand how any of these people with kids are like spending their money on prisoners. I'm like, now that to me is just irresponsible. But especially that amount of money. Um, and I was thinking the same thing, like how you said that a big chunk of her money is gone. I'm like, yeah, 25,000. That's a lot. That's already gone. That ain't even included. I think what she's spending probably on him, period, like his commissary and stuff. So I don't know. This one I'm kind of like, I don't know. It almost seemed like too good to be true. Like maybe he's using her. Like she wasn't like the popular girl in school, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't even
that
know if
part.
he really, really likes her. I'd have to see maybe a little bit more to
Hmm.
really say, but I agree with the lawyer as of right now. Like, girl, you need to get out of that.
Yeah,
Because it's
that's
just,
just
and he's got so much longer left too. Like, so if he doesn't get out, that's a long time to wait for somebody that you didn't date previously.
yeah. Now that was something I mentioned. They did go to middle school together, and she said he actually dropped out of
Oh
the
yeah, he
eighth
got out of
grade.
eighth grade, yeah, and took his
Yeah, but he
GED.
went and got his GED the
Yep.
first try around. I just wanted to throw that in there because I did
Yeah,
Forget to mention that
I
part.
mean, it's cool that he's like super smart, but his rap sheet is just ridiculous. Like when he just started naming all the stuff. I mean, I don't know if any of that is counting against his crime right now, but I don't know, smart or not, that dude is like a super troubled. I don't know. I need more time for them.
Yeah, so that was something I was wondering about. I wonder if she's willing to spend so much money on him because he's was almost that unattainable guy when she was in school, and now she has the popular guy. But I don't know. I know. What are your thoughts?
Well, she said that he was a genius. I would say I don't think he's too smart because he got caught all those times, committing all them crimes when he got caught. So, uh, 101 of being a smart criminal is to always have a fall guy. And then that way, if you get caught, everything falls on that guy. So obviously, he's not good at that. Now, he got his GED in the eighth grade. After the eighth grade, yeah, that's cool on his behalf. But he probably should have stayed in school, and maybe being in school would have helped him to stay out of trouble. Now he's a say his parents are well off, and they try to teach him right from wrong, but he said he had to learn the hard way sometimes, and learn the hard way got him in jail. And like the Buzz, who's the lawyer, was saying, he's a career criminal, and I don't see him changing anytime soon because I've one of my I was a drill sergeant, not drill sergeant, one of my platoon sergeants when we was in the when I was in the army. We was talking, and he was talking to us as a group, and he was saying how his brother was a genius. And oh no, no, take it back. It wasn't the drill sergeant. It was one of my the chancellor that I knew, and he was saying how his brother was a genius, and his brother was way smarter than him. But his brother being a genius, one of his problem was that he was so smart that he knew everything. So you really couldn't get through to that genius. So and
That's
he tried to
yeah.
tell his brother that yeah, you got all this here smarts, but you need to while you in college, finish college because you need those credentials. But he felt that he was smarter than the professors, that he should be teaching the class. So you couldn't teach him anything. So with old boy being a genius, as she would say, I can see that he's not going to change his ways anytime soon because he think he knows it all.
That's
That's
it.
just my
Yeah, that's it. That's perspective.
mhm. And then the fact that Buzz, she went to Buzz and asked him, if I was your daughter, what would you tell me? And he pretty much told her what he would tell his child, and that is get away, you know, get out, as the movie said, get out. But she don't want to get out because she feel that their love is so strong, and it was talking about she have high hopes, and the song say I got high hopes, we got high hopes, high apple pie in the sky hopes, and that's all she got is hopes, because until a boy come out and do something different, I don't see that happening. Uh, I see that she's going to use her, take advantage of all that he can, and that money that she's wasting on him, she's going to look back and see that I could have put that money towards my child and towards, because I don't know, we don't know her living situation because maybe she owned her house. Because if
Yeah.
she owned a house,
Well, she did mention that she cleans, like she's a housekeeper for her living.
oh, okay. Now I'm talking about like rent wise. Is she renting?
Oh yeah, rent wise. Okay.
Because if she's renting, she could have used that money to buy a house. And then at 25 or 26, I think she is. I think she's 26. At 26, she be paying the mortgage. And then, 10, 20 years from now, depends on the whichever her deal is, she'll own her house, instead of spending all that money on that guy. Now, who knows? He might come out and he might prove me wrong. But I don't see it. I don't see it. I think that she's going to be another person who going to, in the end, going to get her heart broken and pocketbooks broken.
Okay. So Johnny, I think you were trying to say something. Were you trying to say something?
Oh no, I'm sorry. No,
Okay. So
but I was thinking. Well, my whole thing is
if your parents are well off,
Yes,
I wonder
I
if
was
his
thinking that
parents are the
too.
ones. If I wonder if his parents are the one who put him in jail, because a lot of his charges were fraud. So I
Yeah,
wonder if he was like stealing from his parents, because even if my kid and I'm well off and my kid ended up getting sentenced to jail for like 8 years, I would be doing what she's doing to try and get him out or see if I can get his sentence reduced. So it would be interesting to find out who he stole from.
yeah. Because that was something I was thinking about. I was like, I bet he was possibly taken from his parents.
Mm-hmm. All those, it was a lot of fraud and check wire and check
Mm-hmm.
charges. And dang, how
Yeah.
gangster are your parents to stick with sending you to jail
But
for 8 years?
yeah,
Are,
at one point I worked at a prison and there was a inmate who had, divulged to me what happened to her. And she was serving a 10-year sentence. She was on drugs really bad and she kept taking from her mom. And then finally her mom had the final straw and called the police on her. And that time when they called the police on her, the judge threw the book at her.
Mm.
And she said that her mom was upset and was like, I wouldn't have called if I had known. So yeah, could have been one
yeah,
of those. They were just like, let's try to lesson, and he got 8 years behind the lesson.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some tough love.
that's
yeah.
like tough, tough love. But
Uh-huh.
it'll be interesting to see if that is the case. Because, like I said, when I kept seeing all the wire charges and check charges, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
that you just randomly pick somebody to do wire and check charges from like that. The way he was doing it just seemed kind of personal.
So
So
what did
it'll
you?
be interesting to see that part.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? That they knew each other in middle school. Well, she knew him in middle school, and he was popular. Do you think that is possibly playing a hand in her spending so freely on him?
I don't know. I mean, I guess she don't look like she was well, I mean, it's hard to imagine an eighth grader popular like that. Maybe in high school or seeing that he was a jock, but a genius eighth grader being popular, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
So
maybe he had 5 friends and she had one. So
yeah, like it doesn't make sense. And most geniuses don't just drop out of school and get their GED. They end up just going to college early. So maybe her definition of genius isn't the normal definition.
Right. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how their story progress. They're one of the
Yeah,
ones I'm really interested to see what kind of happens with that. Um,
I
but I
so
do hope she stops spending her money though. Like
right.
that's crazy. I couldn't imagine. It's hard enough spending $100 on a dude, let alone 25,000. I'd
Yeah,
be
mm,
that
like,
money
hell
gonna
to
be
the no.
gone quickly if she keeps on, especially trying to pay for legal fees.
Yeah, she needs to stop.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
they got
Hey,
a perfect match because he's a burglar, which goes in and clean up houses, and she's a
House
house
cleaner.
cleaner. Yeah,
yeah.
she goes back and she wipes all the fingerprints off.
Yeah,
So, hey,
Yeah, so that's another reason he could possibly be using her. Like, hey,
mhm.
getting
I need
access
a
to people's
cleanup lady.
houses.
Yep, he's in there,
That's crazy.
and if
That
she
Now,
sounds
gets
hopefully,
scary.
none of her clients see her on here.
Watching this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
uh,
absolutely. So next we saw they introduced us to Max and Tara. Okay, so Max, he reminded me, like, I'm not trying to be insult anybody, but he reminded me of a guy that could be on. What was the name of that show? Queer Guy for the no. Was it? Yeah, was it Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? Is that the show? He seems very much like a metrosexual to me. That's
He
what I.
reminded me, I'm sorry, he reminded me of that alien doing that dance. You know, uh that little green alien doing the dance. It was on TikTok. What is that? what is the beat? Now I can't even get the beat in my head. But that's what he reminded me of. He didn't look real. I kept thinking his skin was gonna peel off.
Yeah, and then I was also wondering, like, I wonder if he had plastic surgery to
He just
keep
did
some of
not
that
look
body
real.
because,
He
like
does
you said,
not look real.
yeah, yeah. So and I'm like, well, I guess maybe he stays in the gym, but that's some serious gym time, right? I don't know.
Yeah, well, he is a bodybuilder, bodybuilder model, something like that.
Hmm.
So yes,
Yeah,
I can
and
see
then
he spend a lot of time in the gym.
yeah, yeah. So we actually didn't see a lot of them. So he is free, and then it's his girlfriend that's in prison. Her name is Tara, and so he reveals to us that he spends 30 to 45 minutes every day on his beauty time. That's what he was calling it. And he actually went through his beauty routine of everything he does to his face um, every day. And then, so we found out Tara, she's in prison, possession of meth. And so she's been in there for several months. He didn't reveal how many months, but then they went back and they showed us a bunch of drug shots. So I'm like, I guess this isn't her first stint. Um, and so they show us where they're supposed to be video calling for the first time together. And so she has already said that the other inmates are saying that he is a possible cat, I guess because of his body and stuff like that. And so they're supposed to video call. We see him setting up, getting ready, but Tara never comes. And then you could tell he's disappointed towards the end, and he packs up everything and walks away. I was just wondering, why did he pack up everything? Why didn't he leave it up in case she can't decide to slip on or something? Or maybe it was a certain time frame. I don't know. That was just the only weird thing to me. What did y'all think of Max and Tara? The little bit we got of them.
Well, he has low self-esteem because he
He
even talked
does.
about every woman he's been with cheated on him. So if you'd stop taking steroids, you wouldn't have that kind of problem.
Uh,
And then as far as, like I said, he
so you
just his
think he's juicing?
skin. Yeah, he's juicing his face and stuff. He just looks unreal. Like I said, I kept looking at him like, gosh, he looked like an alien. And then I saw that little green dancing monkey, that green dancing alien.
Uh-huh.
He's doing that dance, or he sees. Never mind. I'll find it and I'll send it to you guys, and we'll laugh about it later. But anyways, that's who you reminded me of. Um, it's nothing like a insecure guy, so it'll be interesting watching what he does for her, if anything, because it seems like they end up still having issues meeting up, and that he's starting to think she's the catfish because she will never talk with him video chat.
I mean, which that could be very true. Because, I mean, she can say, "Oh, my name is Tara," and that's really a girl that's locked up, and it's not her talking. You know what I mean?
Right.
In prison, I can pretend to be you. You know, you
Yeah,
go,
it's
and
nothing but pictures.
right. So, absolutely. All right. So, Reese and Sean, what y'all think of Tara and Max?
Well, I see. He spent a lot of time in the mirror. Uh, his
Yeah, he does.
his whole routine, how you say he went over it, and because he's a fitness model, that's what he is. So, because the way he was getting dressed and he was doing all those poses and stuff, I was like, do he do that every
Yeah,
time he get dressed? Because
that
there's
was
so
what I
many.
was wondering. And then I also wonder, are all fitness models, do they behave like this? Like, what is,
Uh,
oh no, he was a bit much for me.
yeah, yeah. So I can see she breaking his heart, uh, disappointing him uh, much many times. Seen especially when the first day that they were supposed to meet up, and she couldn't meet up for whatever reason she has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to know the reason.
yeah.
What was the reason? Yeah, that's what I want to
Mhm.
know.
So yeah, it would be something if she is catfishing him.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, because one thing he said about her was that if they was to get into an argument, he had to wait for her to be able to call him. So I was like, well, dude, you might have some issues there. Uh, but yeah, I ain't got much to say. We just have to see. The verdict still is not in yet on him.
Um, so my opinions on him and her. So with her standing him up, it does make me wonder, is she really who she say? Or maybe it's like he said, maybe she's like big, or maybe she's not cute anymore or whatever. Because it could be her, but maybe she don't look like her old pictures. Um, Kind of like how Lisa kind of was initially. Like she didn't really look like her pictures until like later on she started looking like her pictures again. But I also wonder, like, could something have happened? You know what I mean? And he's just like, where she is, she's sending me up, but I mean, she is in jail, so for all he knows, she could be locked down, or anything could have happened. So I mean, it's not like she's free to. They may have a time slot where they can do it. I don't know how jail works. It seems like they get a lot more free time and phone time and internet and all that stuff than maybe in the past. But um, I don't know. I feel like if she keeps doing this every time, then maybe. But if this was the first time they're gonna video chat, then I feel like he got to cut her some slack because you never know what happened in the jail. But as far as him, I feel like as a person who doesn't have great skin, for him to spend that much time on just his skin, like I'm shocked it's not better. Maybe the products he uses isn't that
You
great.
know what? I was thinking too because they zoomed in on him and he had like a lot of bumps, and I'm like, wait a minute,
Mhm.
products you're using, should you still have
Yeah, I would think just because I'm like, I got acne, and I'm like, ain't no way I'm gonna spend that much time on my face and I still have acne. Like, if I'm spending that much time on my face, it's because I'm doing makeup covering it or something, but I'm not gonna sit up here and do that much skincare. You know what I'm saying? Like 30 minutes worth of just cleaning my face, and then it still doesn't look like the skin ain't great. Then I feel like maybe he need a new routine. And then um I also feel like he was a bit metrosexual and possibly more leaning to
bisexual?
the other team. Like, I don't know. I don't find him as like being somebody who, even though he's a bodybuilder and stuff, like his body is good, I guess, but he just he don't look like he into women. But obviously he is because he's dated women and all that stuff. And I'm with Johnny. He's insecure. If she is super pretty, she probably gonna come out and hurt him. If she ain't super pretty, I don't know what he gonna do because it seemed like that's all he wants. But maybe them the people that's breaking his heart every time. So maybe he shouldn't be chasing that.
Yeah,
Chasing that.
he does seem like he's into superficial things with women.
Hmm.
Um,
But that's
so
about it for me with them because, like you said, they really didn't talk about much other than catfishing each other. So I mean, the only way to find out if anybody getting catfish is the video, but I don't know. You'd think if she was catfishing him, she wouldn't even brought it up. And so if she is, she's dumb. But that's it.
yeah. The next couple that they introduce us to is Indy and Harry. Okay. So, and here we go with another young guy because they said Harry is
You
only
skipped
20.
one.
Which one?
Gabby and Chris.
I think I'm doing them next. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I did skip them. Let me look back real quick.
They came up before Max and Darren.
I did skip them. Okay, Gabby and Chris. So Gabby and Chris, and so they introduced them. So we immediately see them talking on the phone. Chris, he's asking her, what is she wearing? He's trying to be flirty and stuff with her. And she's talking and she's like, yeah, he said something about making babies, I think, first. And then she's like, oh, yeah, we're going to make a bunch of babies when you get home. And I'm like, here we go. You don't know him yet, but here you go plotting with the babies. And so we also find out they are engaged. So apparently he asked her to marry him. And then he sent her $5,000. And she went and got her ring with that $5,000, right? And so we also see that her and her mom, they're going to go look at wedding venues. And so I was watching this scene and I'm like, this girl has a lot of nice things. Y'all know I'm into purses, so I noticed her purse immediately. I noticed she was driving a Beamer immediately. I was like, well, I guess she's doing well for herself. Maybe this is the Britney for this episode. But then we find out that Chris has sent her like $60,000, she's saying. She said that Chris got beat up by the correctional officers and he filed a suit and he won. It was like over $100,000 he won. But she said he sent her like $60,000. So she spent it on clothes. She bought her car. She was like, she's done, paid rent and things like that with this money. So I was like, because um, and as they were shopping for the wedding venue, her mom asked like, how much does this venue cost? And then she pulled her to the side and was like, and how are you going to pay for this? And she's like, oh well, Chris has money. Um, yeah. So what did y'all think of Chris and Gabby and this money?
They're actually interesting because it's reverse. Like, she's not sending him money.
Yeah.
He's sending her money. He's taking care, quote unquote, of home, I guess, because she's saying that's where they'll live when he gets out.
Yeah.
It's just different. So I'm very intrigued by this whole dynamic of him taking care of her while he's locked up.
Yeah.
She also said that she is a man eater. So she never really falls for men, but she fell for him for whatever reason. And I wonder if it's the money that made her fall for him. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this one works out because it's so different than what we're normally hearing. We normally hear that the
Right.
person on the outside is the one who spends all the money, not the person on the inside.
Right. Right. And like you said, it's very different. And he's helping her to set up his life because she said she even bought the furniture for the place that they're going to be living in and stuff. And,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's saying when he gets out, he immediately wants to get married. She said she wants him to wait a day or two. But yeah, he's saying he's all in and he's, providing for her right now. So
Right.
Reese, what did you and Sean think?
A lot was definitely surprised, like Johnny said, um, about the dynamic of it because we're not used to seeing like the prisoner taking care of the woman or man or whatever. But I also still have the same concern as from early on, like, he's already spent half of his money as well. And
Mm-hmm.
if he still has time left, I mean, she's gonna go through that money if he's paying the bills and stuff. So how much money is he gonna have when he gets out? Because I want to say she said he got about 120 or something like that, or one. It was one something. I didn't catch
I
the
know
whole
it was over 100,000. I don't remember
50.
exactly.
150.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
150.
so that can go quick if you just spending it like crazy. So hopefully, he's responsible enough not to give her all of the money, but
Hey, Egypt, if you're still on, hey, Happy New Year. But yeah, I definitely think, yeah, like he spent a lot of money, a lot of his money so far. So hopefully, he still has something when he comes out. Or hopefully, he has a job and is budgeting for that too. I hope. I don't know.
and she said some stuff too that was kind of because she was like, "You better never leave me," and all that. I'm like, "You coming up kind of
Yeah.
crazy, girl." I'm like,
Yeah, I
"Hope
remember when she said that. Yeah.
yeah." Like, and I can see, like, okay, I really do love him, and she said it's the first one she actually loved, so maybe that's why she's like, okay, I done finally caught feelings. You better not leave. But hopefully, but she also, what else she said? She's the one that said they like kind of did stuff under the table, right, with each other.
Yes. That was
So
her.
I also hope that he's getting out before this airs because couldn't he get in trouble for that if they see that? Like,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
then now they're
understand.
gonna be watching them. They'll of course be watching them more closely.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I don't understand why they incriminate themselves on these shows like that. But I don't know. But I agree. This one's gonna be different, kind of interesting, and hopefully she don't blow through his money. And I know she said she decorated the apartment and all that stuff. So hopefully she did what she said and didn't just waste it on car and clothes and stuff. But I mean, that's pretty cool that she got a $5,000 ring. I bet you Brittany probably watching like,
Right, you need to stay.
step your game up. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. So, Sean, what were your thoughts on this couple?
Well, I was doing the math because it said it was 150,000. roughly. So I just say 150. He gave her 60,000. That leaves him with 90. Um,
Wedding
the
like 23.
Yeah, the wedding is $230 per person, 80 people. That came out to be 19 and 120. So I just rounded up to 20. So that's going to leave them with 70, and he's still in. So how long did it take her to spend that 60 grand? And how long it's going to take for her to spend that 70? And is he going to continue to give her money once he realized that the 60 is all gone? How much is her rent? Again, you're gonna do that. She went on and bought your house, put that mortgage down, put that money down as a down payment, pay your mortgage off. Do not put his name on the lease or on the mortgage, and he come out tripping. So well, you got the house. He can't do nothing about it. It's in your name. I'm pretty sure that car is in her name too. So if he comes
It
out and
probably is.
Mhm.
And something else I was thinking about too when she was saying that she had bought the furniture and stuff because that's where they were going to live. I'm like, I hope she has checked to see if his felons are ones that'll keep him out of that apartment.
Yeah, because you
You
got
know,
all that
certain
stuff
felons.
going on. And who knows? She probably did do all that homework and realized that, oh, I got me one, So he gonna give me all this here, and I'm going to spend it all on the stuff that's going to benefit me, and I'm going to say it's for us. And he continue to give me money, and all thing I got to do is every now and then go and have under the table sex, So, uh, and while I got voila, I give me another 10 grand. That ring, $5,000. I like, good Lord, that's just the engagement ring. So then that means you got to buy the wedding bands, and based off that 5,000, she gonna want at least 5,000 on the wedding bands. I think she's in it for the money, because based off of the mom, because the mom was saying,
With the mom was not
Mhm,
very like on
mhm,
board. And then something else, y'all know I love my bags. I love a good luxury purse. But the mom, she had a YSL bag, right? But she kept it flipped over instead of showing the YSL. I'm like, why do you have it hidden? Let us see. you know.
mm, mm. So with the mom, it seemed like the mom was more worried about Chris getting hurt than her daughter getting hurt, because she
Mm.
know her daughter's track record, and she's like, maybe he might be the one to prove her wrong, but she don't see them walking down the aisle, and I don't see it either. Because if I done gave you $60,000 and I said I want to get married the very day I get out of prison, we getting married the very day I get out of prison. We ain't waiting no day or two. We're gonna get married that day.
Oh, you're saying immediately y'all would need to go get
Right.
that license and get married?
Right, and she should already had the license paid for, and the minister and whoever's going to do the ceremony, everything should be paid for. Matter of fact, they should meet me right there out of the once I get
Outside
out
the
the
gate?
gates there,
Oh, wow.
and love after lockup meet us right there. Had the camera crew and everything. They gave the wedding performance for Tia and Nicole. They can do the same for us on my day out of prison. So, and then that right there, that even save money, because of course they're gonna want, the producers gonna want to be there. So I'll make them pay for it. But yeah, it is gonna be interesting to see how long they stay
Thank
together.
you, Egypt.
hmm But that's all I gotta work on them. So
Well, that was an interesting take. It's a very good there, Sean. I was shocked that you were like, you would want to get married on that day and at
60
the gate,
grand,
huh?
60
Better have
grand.
my suit ready.
Uh-huh.
Very
I don't need
good.
no suit. I get married in my orange jumpsuit.
Oh
Those
Lord.
colors.
At
Those
least change.
colors.
Okay, we need you
Mm-mm.
to change and not have shackles on.
60 grand, 60 grand. I say that's enough right there. I don't need to change. We got to save some money because she done spent it on the Beamer. Because you got the oil changes cost money, gas to fill it up. I say she's spending some money on that Beamer, and she didn't even say what year it was. So, and I'm pretty sure it's probably brand new, and she probably still making payments on it. I don't think she probably paid all cash for that thing. Yeah. So,
Yeah, who knows what she was at? All right, so the next couple, Indy and Harry. Okay. And as I kind of said before, Harry is 23 years old. I just get worried when I see these young guys because I'm like, oh, this is going to be another shame situation, possibly. Especially because Indy, she was 37, I think is what it said on the
No,
screen.
no, 37
She's
is
29.
Oh, the
Tara.
other girl is
Tara,
30.
Tara is 37 and Max is
Okay.
She's
24.
24.
Oh, Indy is 24. Okay.
No, Indy's
No, Indy
29.
is
So
29.
okay, she's 29. Okay. So we have Indy and Harry. Indy already has two kids. One of them lives with her. Um, and they met on TikTok. Now I've seen the prisoners doing TikToks, but I guess Indy was like, let her shoot her shot, jump in his DM. So they have been 8 months, but she's never seen him in person. She's only seen him through video chats. I guess through his TikToks. And so Indy, she's really into. She has a psychic that she's really into getting her readings done by this woman. And so we see her going to visit her psychic, and her psychic tells her that Harry is about to get out of prison. I'm not quite sure why Harry doesn't know when he's getting out of prison, but the psychic is saying it's about to happen, like in the next month, and that she is going to move. So Indy runs with that. So we see her meeting up with her sister and her daughter at a park, and she starts telling her sister the things that the psychic has told her. Like the psychic also told her that when Harry gets out, he's going to be on the straight and narrow. And so the sister's like, well, you're going to have to tell mom, and we're about to have game night, so why don't you tell at game night what your plans are? Because now what the psychic has said, Indy wants to move to Ohio. I don't know what these Ohio prisoners are doing, but she is going to Ohio. Is what she said. And so we then see them have a family game night, and we see her mom, Yolanda, which I'm sorry, Yolanda's mom just looked like she wasn't playing, like she ain't playing. When I seen her come through the door, I was like, oh no, that lady is not about to have this that you're talking about. I knew she would be happy. And she was not happy when Indy told her that she was going to be moving to Ohio. Indy currently lives in Maryland, and she says that not only is she moving, but she's taking her young daughter with her. And clearly, her family has a close bond and her out with the daughter because the mom is like, you're not taking her, and and the mom is also a private investigator and a bounty hunter. So if you can get an idea, she is no joke. She's true. And she's saying that she's going to investigate him, and you know he's not happy with the situation. So then Harry ends up calling the phone call, and she's getting emotional and telling him that her family doesn't like the idea of her leaving, and that scene was a little tough for me because I was wondering, like, should you really be telling him everything that they're saying? I don't know that everything is necessary for him to know. You can let him know that, okay, they're not happy about me. Because I'm just thinking that later on down the line that could cause some problems, but I don't know. What did you guys think of Harry and Indy?
Well, for
Man.
starters, uh, the fact that she was upset that her family didn't agree with it, to me, she shouldn't have been upset. She shouldn't have been crying because according to her, her psychic is never wrong. And the psychic told her that they was not going to be pleased with that situation. So she should already been knowing that they wasn't going to be pleased with it. And to me, it doesn't take a psychic to come up with that solution. Because if you're going to come to me, well, like my daughter did and took the grandbaby, I was upset. So just the fact that you taking the grandkid away from the grandparent and going to a different state, that alone is going to be upsetting to the grandparent, and the grandparent is not going to be feeling that. So, like I
Right.
said, don't take a psychic for that one. Now, for those people out there that believe in psychics, that's on you all. I'm not into psychics, but if you that deep into it to where they are running your life, then you might have some issues. Because every time someone had said something, well, her sister had questioned her about your feelings towards the man and all the other stuff. She's like, well, uh, and the Niger, the psychic,
Anais or something.
Anais, saying, well, Anais
Something
said,
like that.
then
Yeah, I
Anais
couldn't remember
said,
her name, so I didn't say.
It was something like that, Anais or Anairis or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, so,
Iris.
um, So she, her answer was always what she said. You know, she said this, she said that. It was never how you felt. It was never how India felt. You know, it was never how Harry felt. Is it Harry, the boyfriend?
Yes, Gary.
Yeah, it was never how he felt. It was always what the psychic said. So I'm like, you putting too much weight into her decision. And for her, when her sister said like what she said, how she said, I don't agree with, you know, but she's like, you believe what you believe. And she was telling her, well, I believe because she's never wrong. But you not gonna be she's not gonna be perfect all the time. So eventually she's gonna be wrong. And you taking her advice all the time and not putting any stock or investing any information or doing no resource on the matter, it's gonna come back and hurt her in the long run. Now,
I definitely agree with you on that. I didn't like the fact that she wasn't taking ownership for what she wants to do.
right.
It's like she's trying to put it off on the psychic. So I guess if it goes bad, she was like, "Well, the psychic told me." Like, no, take some ownership in what you're doing.
hmm And then with his crime, because he was charged with aggravated burglary, I think it was. I had looked it up. Was it
Yeah,
aggravated?
he was burglary and kidnapping.
Yeah, aggravating burglary and kidnapping. In Ohio, the burglary charges is 3 to 10 years. The kidnapping charges is 1 to 5 years. He already spent 4 to 5 years in prison, you know, according to what she said. So there is a possibility that he might actually do get out soon. You know, it depends on if he did good behavior. Who knows? He might get out within the month or two.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't base that off of what she said. I would base that off of what he was telling me. If Harry is telling me, yeah, I'm about to get out because they say I'm up for parole, then I will make my move on whether or not I would like to move up there. Now, uh, kidnapping. We don't know who he kidnapped. Did he kidnap a child? Did he kidnap, you know, adult, his ex-girlfriend? You know, who was the person he kidnapped? Because that right there would play a part in I'm bringing my child up here. So she's gonna be bringing her child, and who knows if he even could be in the same facility of a child. You know, so we don't know. We don't know that, and so far I don't know if she knows that, but she might knows all that stuff. So there's a lot of red flags, and for 4 weeks to decide that you're gonna up and move up there, need to get a job. Now I think she's a makeup artist, so she might be able to find a job easily, but yet still, you know, it's too much, like the girl had said, sacrifices that she's gonna have to make
Yeah,
for this stuff to work. And
I feel.
I really feel that.
Yeah, I feel like she should, if she's gonna make the move, that I think she should probably is bring him where she is established and she has help.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
And
I
then
know he can't though.
yeah, because I'm saying he
yeah, she
might
may not. Yeah, that's true. He may not be able to come back. But I don't know.
so
You know, oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, were you done?
Uh,
You
I'm,
weren't
I'm,
done.
go ahead.
To me, it almost seemed like maybe this is something she was already thinking, anyways. Because to me, just for a psychic to say you're gonna move, I feel like it was almost like it was confirmation. You know what I mean? Like, because first of all, they never showed her talk to him again, so this couldn't have been a decision. Because the way it looks is like the psychic was like, "Hey, he's gonna get out soon, and you're gonna make a move." And it's like, "What? I'm gonna move there? Okay, but when did you talk to him?" Because when they had the conversation later, he didn't seem surprised. Like he seemed
Yeah,
like yeah, they'll see once we are doing great, and they'll see the truth. They'll see, you know. So it's like I think she been wanting to do this. She just used that psychic's confirmation and then saying like, "Oh, he'll be getting out in like a month or so." He's probably even told her he should be getting out soon. So maybe the psychic confirmed that for her too. And so now she's like, "Yes, he is getting out. I am moving." And she said we're gonna be great. And they were like, "Well, you don't even know." She said, "Yeah, but Anira said we're gonna be great." And it's like, I'm sorry, like I just couldn't put my 100% trust, even if she hasn't been wrong yet. I'm like Sean. There's gonna be a time she's going to be wrong, and you know what I'm saying, uplifting everything for your daughter, uprooting everything for your daughter, and all that, and moving. If she is wrong, that's not the time you want it to be. And so to me, that's a big move. Like maybe go visit him first, let him get out, because y'all never even seen each other. Let him get out, go visit him. And then maybe if you feel like it is right, then move. But I'm just like, I feel like she's doing too much too quick based off of her psychic. And it's just, I don't know, it's too much to me. Like, the way she just so defensive against everything. It's like, you know, your family, you're super close. Obviously, you could tell by the way they got together. For the fact that they get together for family game night, they're a close family. Because how many families really do that? You know, and it seems like this is a thing they do often. So it's like, you know, you're close to your family, so of course that's gonna hurt them. But I don't know. I mean, she see how cute he is, and he was a cutie, but I don't know that he.
I love his hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know if he's cute enough to do all that. And then too, the other thing is, what about your other daughter? Now you're not gonna see that one. Because if she leaves, the other daughter lives with the dad, so now you're not even gonna see your older child. So it's like she don't even care. She just gonna go. I'm like, all right. So I guess we'll see what happens, because it looks like in the preview he probably did get out, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Johnny. So, what were your thoughts on Indy and Harry?
I really liked the family game night. I thought that was really cool. She did say though she was kind of surprised at their reaction because they hadn't been saying anything like that, and I think it's because they didn't realize you were going to move 20 states over. I don't know how far Ohio is from Maryland, but you know how small Maryland is. But anyways, you know, and that was just kind of a shock to them. On top of the fact that when you look at his crime and then the fact that you're going to bring your 4-year-old over there with you, like if she had just said, I'm going to go first, see how it goes, then bring my child, I see it, but I'd be too nervous doing all of that, period. That's just too much. Even if you are spiritually married, it's just too much.
Oh yeah, that's
and
weird.
then spiritually married.
They
She was
wrote
arguing that too.
that they are married.
Yeah. She was like, and he's my spiritual husband. It's
my
like,
spiritual husband.
Yeah, and I've seen people. I'm gonna just ask you guys' opinion. I have seen more and more people. Mostly, it's been on social media saying that they are spiritually married to people. When did this become a thing?
Because people are getting out of the tradition of real marriage. And that way, being spiritually married means that you're truly tied to this person. But on paper, if y'all split up, you're not having to divide and lose all your stuff.
So they also, since you said tradition, so they also getting away from shacking up.
Yeah,
So, that is a way to get away from shacking up.
Yeah, they're married, so to speak. But legally, they're not married because they don't have to divide and do all that stuff if they were to separate. And on top of that, they're basically saying it's spiritual, so it's supposed to be in the eyes of God that they're married spiritually. They don't have to have a piece of paper to say that they're married.
well, I guess some people don't consider spirituality and religion the same.
Yeah.
Because you can't say, because I said on a piece of paper, or we wrote each other a letter and said we're spiritually married. That don't have nothing to do with God. So it's like, what is that? What do they mean spiritual? Like, is it still, it's got to be something that's like, you know, even when somebody talking about spiritual, it's still like, I don't know, even if it's not God, it's still something more than just, I said it on some paper. Like, that's crazy, because you can spiritually marry a bunch of people and they don't even know it.
Yeah, like our next
teenagers could get spiritually married.
Yeah. So I wonder if you got to get the paper.
That's all it takes.
No, yeah, it don't sound like you got to get it notarized.
No, I don't think so. You just.
I wonder does the other person got to agree? Because if not, me and The Rock, we're gonna be spiritually married. He don't even know it.
Yeah, me and Idris, we're in a polygamy marriage.
That's funny, but yeah, I don't. I do think it's like a written. It's almost, to me, it seems more like a written contract between you and the person. since
so
it's in
weird.
writing.
You sign it?
Yeah, I think they said they signed it or they wrote each other.
But
I
then,
don't know how it
okay,
goes.
I
so
just see
then
one of
that's
these
the
spiritual
thing with
contracts.
me, because once you sign it and you've turned it into a contract, you might as well have did a marriage certificate.
Yeah, that's legally binding.
Yeah, once you sign
Not
that.
no, not necessarily, because just because whatever's on paper, it didn't say anything about assets. It's not recognized in that sense that like if y'all divorce, this person might get your whole retirement or anything like that.
Yeah, but you still may have to split stuff because if somebody lives in your house for 30 days, they technically live there, and then now
Yeah.
you have to evict them to make them leave.
Right. But so you can still make them leave. When you're married, you can't make them leave. You have to agree to leave.
But I don't know, that spiritual thing, I'd be like, no, we're married. Spiritually, we're married.
Well, I guess you
Yeah,
gotta wait
because
for
you
the
know
first
what?
person to take them to
Yeah,
court.
and then when you think about it, also with that, I forgot about that. Because once a couple shacks up for so long, you're common law wife and husband. So there's certain things that that person is going to become entitled to because they're your common law spouse.
Yeah, common law, okay, but when you go with that person dies and you try and go get their social security, they're not going to give you his social security because you're
Now,
not
unless you want my
recognized.
letter, I'm like, we signed this, we married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
You
give
it's
me
get
not
his
going to be
signature.
recognized.
you
You're
get
not going to be able to
something.
take that to go get his retirement or
Nope.
No,
anything
they gonna
else.
give it
So
to
you
me because
have
I'm like,
to.
we spiritually married. I'm gonna argue like she did with her family.
You keep on arguing your way out the door. Because
Yeah,
I know someone
right.
with that
Yeah.
happened to them. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they
she
were
was.
dating a guy and they were supposed to be married and they never got the paperwork. And as soon as he died, the last wife, she had more say
Yeah,
so.
but look what you said. They never had the paperwork. She's got paperwork. They signed that.
No, it's just the spiritual. That's just a spiritual thing.
Nah, that's a
I'm
marriage
pretty
stuff.
sure there's no law.
Apparently, like let enough people do it. I bet you legally it'll start becoming a thing.
Yeah, until
Like
then,
calling people them and they.
But you
until
know
the
what?
first
Once
I
they
can't a spiritual
start,
marriage be real.
yeah. But
yeah.
you know what? Once it's become a thing where you got spiritually married to somebody who had been married to somebody else before, and that person, your spiritual spouse, passes away, and then their ex everything away, they're gonna stop doing it. They're like,
Mhm.
wait a minute, I gave up all of that just because I didn't marry the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or legally there's gonna start becoming some things that people be entitled to. Like, well, yeah, that's a binding agreement still. You signed it.
Yeah, it depends. I guess it would depend on what you put in there.
Yeah.
Like, is it all just about spirituality and feeling a closeness with someone? Are you really writing down about assets and all this other stuff in it? Which I really doubt.
Mm.
I truly think it's just another promise ring.
But you know what? I think they could probably get away with a promise ring and not having to be held responsible, as opposed to like, because when you get married, you don't say anything about assets there, but the minute you get married, the person, half of what is yours is theirs. So, but it's never stated in your vows or your marriage license. So that's the only thing about that.
Yeah, I think because if you owe, like, let's say I borrowed $100 and then I signed something saying I'm gonna pay you back in 30 days, and I don't, you can take me to court with that. So I just feel like I don't know, because usually if you sign something, it becomes a legally binding document. Yeah, I don't know how much detail it has to have, but that's kind of a scary thing if they sign something. But I also think it's stupid. Like, just get married when he get out, because like you said, it's not on paper or it's not official, whatever. Then you're not really married. Because she was arguing with them like, but he's my spiritual husband, so I'm gonna go. And it's like, dude, y'all, it's almost like playing house or like some little fairy tale mess that you do until you can really do it.
Yeah. But one more point, I forgot about this. Some states inmates cannot get married, so your spiritual marriage can't even occur because technically you couldn't be married to him anyway. If you his
Yeah,
spiritual,
because
well, I can't say his spiritual rights were taken, but
yeah, I can see that. And then he plays the field, and she be like, "Well, we spiritually married." He be like, that's
Not
just
for
a paper.
real.
Yeah, that's just a piece of paper. I don't know what
yeah,
you're talking about, woman.
Look, until they say everybody who's spiritually married can get those those visits, those
Conjugal
conjugal
visits.
visits. Man, I bet you she'd be like, I'm married though. Let her come
Yes.
on.
But you were spiritually married to her last week. Oh no, we got a divorce. I'm married.
Uh-huh.
I know, right?
Uh,
Who knows what these, this new generation of people, where they're coming up with all kinds of
And it's sticking.
weird loopholes and everything, and just like, even like we never really talked about how old girl talked to her mom in the car. I was just like, when did we start okaying that these kids, even if you're an adult child, can talk to your parents like that? It just drives me crazy because I was just watching a show the other day where he was cussing at adults like it was nothing, and he's supposed to be 14. And the adults are sitting there just telling him to calm down. It's okay. No, you're not going to tell me to F off and I'm supposed to be cool with it.
You're right.
No.
I just don't get it. Because
You know what
even
the F
AJ
off? Look, these hands can F off. That's
I
what
know,
F off.
right?
Like, no.
Even AJ's friends know I don't tolerate that kind of stuff. So it would drive me if one of his friends were to come around me cussing like that. Oh my gosh. I
hear
don't
you.
understand these kids these days. So everything they're coming up with, who knows what all this stuff would be before we know it.
Yeah, because I talked trash to my mom.
Yeah,
I
right.
surely did. I had
Right.
we was visiting New Orleans and she said something to my dad and I didn't like. So I left New Orleans. I went to Alabama. I passed Alabama. I got to Georgia. And as soon as I got to the state line of South Carolina, I gave her a call and I told her, Mom, that wasn't right what you said to Dad.
But you
Look at
knew.
you,
You
you
knew
ain't 5
to jump
states away.
several states.
That's right. You
And
see, y'all ain't the only ones that big and bad. I talk trash to my mama too.
That's
you need
just,
to be doing it while you're on a road. Scream it as you know. Like,
So
no, yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't even imagine. Just even when I'm not on good terms or I'm not I don't agree. I just never would talk to my parents that way.
I could agree with a lot of stuff though that I see. I really feel old because I'm like, what is really going on now? What are y'all talking about? I don't get it. I don't understand the mind frames, the way they're thinking. And I'm sorry, and hopefully I don't hurt anybody's feelings, but they and them, that bothers me. That bothers me. Like no one person. I'm probably say this every time we get on here, but no person that's one person should be called they or them. That's a plural term.
I think I'm learning that they're called that because they identify as both. They're non-binary, which means they're both. They can be male or female.
Well, you
they
either
can identify as whatever they choose to be because that's why they are them. Therefore, they are plural.
So whatever you feel in that day, then you say, "Hey, my pronoun is he. My pronoun is she." But you don't become two people in one because you're not two people in one. No, you flip flop. You're not. You don't do half man, half woman. You pick one that day, and that's what you do. Because I've seen those people who flip flop, but they're not both at the same time. So what that means is you're either he or she, him, her, whatever for the day. And whichever one you want to be, you just need to let people know your pronoun. But this they and them needs to stop.
Yeah, that's just like it would just be like, I think their thought process is, I don't want to tell you what I am today, so I just say call me they. That way you're not offensive.
See, but then I would just say it because I don't know what you are today. You let me know what you're in, and I'll tell you what you are. But it is a singular.
But I think if you say it, then that's offensive.
Offensive, right?
It might be offensive, but to me, I'm not going to ever say they and them because I feel like you're one or the other. You don't want me to ask, then just tell me your name, and I'm just gonna say your name. And if you don't want to have a name, then I won't say anything. I'm gonna say hey, because I think they and them is stupid.
Yeah, and
you want me to say that you two people.
I'm just glad I work in a very small atmosphere. My world is very small to that, so I don't have to.
Same here.
I don't have to worry about that right now.
And I know, and that's the thing is that's allowed now. So while we laugh at this spiritual marriage, hey, that should be allowed too. If we allowing all other silly things, then what's so wrong with that? It doesn't make sense, but
you know what? Like for me, like I think my biggest issue with the spiritual marriage thing is that you're almost making a mockery of what marriage is. And can be making a mockery of it. But I know, like where I work at, I deal with a lot of young people, and I have to, go by whatever they tell me they want to their preferred name to be, and whatever pronoun they want to be called. If they tell me to use it, so
I can use the pronoun. That's what is your name? Like, I don't have to say he, she, them.
sometimes
Say your name.
what
Girl,
ends up
I
happening.
thought
Yeah,
I
well, what
thought
ends up happening, it's oh, I'm sorry. Like what ends up happening is sometimes you're talking to the person, and like maybe I put them on hold on the phone, and I'm like, "Ma'am, thank you for holding."
Well, what do you say on that? You
Like,
like, Dave, wait, thank you for holding. Them.
well, they'll
Them. Thank you
correct
for
me.
holding.
Usually, they'll correct me. So if I figure out from like the paperwork that this person is transgender, then I'll try to say, "Well, sir, thank you for holding," or "Ma'am, thank you for holding."
But that's
If
different.
I
That's
can't
still ma'am and,
tell,
and sir.
yeah.
That ain't
So
that they and them.
yeah,
that's
That's
my
usually
daughter.
I try to use ma'am and sir with them, even though
yeah.
they're younger than me.
But you
But I
can't
try
with
to
a they and them. But a they and them, you can't say ma'am or sir. That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
they and them make life difficult.
Right.
yeah.
But
Because
I
I'm
told
like,
my
what did
daughter,
I say? Yes, them. Yes, they. Thank
yeah.
you, they. To me, you sound like you got double personalities. It's just crazy. Like, I feel like you're making a mockery of my gender by saying that you don't want to pick one either. As a woman, and you're a woman, I'm looking at a female. Like, either pick male or female, but you're making a mockery out of us that we have a gender. Like, everybody, even a transgender, picks a gender. It might not be their born gender, but they still pick one. So I'm like, I ain't trying to diss them because hey, they do what they want to do, and I'm talking about that that singular person. But I just think that's weird, and that's one of them things that I mean, it ain't normal to me, and it's strange, but yet you have to abide by it because somebody says it. If I want to say, well, hey, I want to be white today, should people just listen to it because that's what I want to be, and I'm gonna be offended if you call me black? Like, I just
Well,
think it's
no,
silly,
if you say that, then you're being racist.
and that's stupid. Like, I think they're being sexist when they want to be they and them.
No, I thought that would make you trans racist.
Huh?
I thought that would make you trans racist.
Yeah,
Trans,
transracial. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's
transracial.
being transracial.
When you
What
identify as a different race, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because that's the thing.
transracial?
Yeah,
Transracial, that is the thing.
Yeah, but I'm sure people won't treat me like I'm being transracial. They'll be like, you're being racist, or you're trying to be funny. But what if I really do?
Well, I don't know. With this next generation, we're gonna have a transracial, transgender, non-binary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not even gonna be allowed to say you're human anymore. Like, that's gonna be a negative term. Like, why are you calling us human
I
beings?
did
That's
hear
negative.
something about that where somebody didn't like being called human.
See, see
Who
what I'm saying?
I
Oh,
don't blame them. 'Cause
they're
I don't blame them at
they're
all.
alien, so they're transhuman. They're
Yeah,
trans
because
alien.
it's a star. Was it Demi Lovato that
Oh,
said?
she didn't want to be nothing though. She's they, them,
Yeah, she's non-binary.
alien,
Well, I'm
freaking.
sorry, they are non-binary. Lord have mercy, because they'll
That
correct us.
thing don't know. They don't know what they want to do. They are so confused. Like they just out there. Like, and I'm sorry. Like, they used to be an okay person, and then I used to feel bad about them when they went to rehab and all this other stuff. But now I'm like, it's something to this thing. Like, I ain't even gonna go into them because they're crazy. That singular person.
Yeah, they are definitely going through a lot because they even went back to
That's
rehab.
what I'm
So
saying. Just got out of
even
rehab.
if you've come out and made yourself be this person or say
And
you're this
then
person, you're still
wasn't
not happy with
they
your life.
also weren't they also like tanning really bad, trying to make themselves look racially ambiguous?
They
Isn't
probably
that
did.
what they did? I could
They
have sworn
probably did.
yeah, and she got some backlash for doing
No,
that.
that's not a she.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Them got that. Then y'all seen how them got that spider on them head?
yeah, girl.
what?
I,
You confused me for a second. I was like, huh?
Yes,
I know.
it's they and them. They and them. So I can use whichever
Yeah.
one I want. It doesn't have to make sense. I just can use they and them. So, but them got that spider on them head.
Yeah, but even like I tell my daughter, if that's how they are, then they don't need to be around me because I'm gonna call them what I see them. If I see them look like a girl, they a girl. If I see they look like a boy, they a boy. I ain't calling no person them or they. So
Like,
needless to say,
yeah,
my daughter's friends don't come around me often because I'm not gonna sit here and keep trying to remember what I'm supposed to call you.
yeah.
So then I wonder if there is a group of they, say they over
So,
there, or would I say
so
that
some
group of them over there?
days,
Which
them.
is not
Okay,
grammatically
they.
correct.
It's days or thems. Because if you say they, I'm gonna think you're talking about one person. You say them, that's one person. But you put an S on it, I'm not confused. So it's a bunch of they. It's a group of days and a group of
But I
thems.
thought them was the plural.
No, no, no. They and them is like he
It's
and
singular.
him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he and him. Yeah, that's the
He
way
and
they
him,
change it.
she and her, they, them. So if you want to talk about multiple they and them, then you got to put an S on it. That's the only way we know you're talking about
They,
the group.
them.
Yeah.
But you know what? For me to say thems, I feel like I'm
It's
saying,
wrong, but it's wrong to call a singular person them too. So
and then I also feel like I'm being disrespectful, but
them,
I get it.
how? Like you, I don't know if I'm saying so she and her. So I like her dress. I like them dress, or I like them outfit, but I like all of them's outfits. So I mean, what do you say? Like them is plural, so is they. But we're talking singular, so I need to make it plural to make sense because it doesn't make sense. So to make it make sense,
Okay, so I guess
make it make
it
sense.
has to be plural because they could be a girl or a boy. So
Yeah.
since it could be the two things, okay. Like
So
I'm like,
so okay. So in this case, they don't want to have a gender. Do they have a name that they go by? Because if you go by like, let's say Timmy and Tammy, um, if you say your name is Tammy that day, then I'm gonna think you're the she.
and usually that's what I will do because, like I said, I do have a case where I'll be looking at Sean, but on the paperwork it says Shannon. So I'll say, ma'am, or where did she go? She was just the girl I was just talking to, and they're like,
Mhm.
no, it's he. And
Even
I'm
though
like,
you look like a
okay,
girl.
yeah, I've had that happen to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I had that happen once in housing. She it was transgender, and all her paperwork was male, and she was annoyed and mad that we kept calling her by her legal name. And we're like, that's what we have to call you by because that's what's on your paperwork. So when she would get a letter that had her legal name on it, she'd get upset. So we had to figure out how to change her mailing address with her name on it, but still keep her in the system as her legal name, which is what her social was. But even like we told her, if you want to change your doggone social, change your social, and we can put on everything. But you can't just be called whatever coming up in here. We have to call you by your legal name.
yeah.
So that became an ordeal. And then we almost had to be careful because it was borderline
Mm-hmm.
discriminating. So
Yeah.
that's why I said I'm glad my circle is small when it comes to that because I don't have to be so touchy about it. And my daughter knows how I am. So it
I
is
mean,
what it is.
all of that makes me have more respect for gay and transgender because at least they pick. I'm like, just pick a gender, man. If it ain't your natural gender, I don't care. Just pick a gender and then let's go on. Like if you come in and you a dude with a beard, but you got a dress on it, you want to be known as a female. You say I'm a female, okay, we'll go from there. But I can be that type of not disrespectful, but when you come in here and you got a beard and a dress and it's because you a they and you don't want to pick, then tell me your name. And if you can't give me a name, then I don't want to talk to you.
Well, it's weird, right? Because they're not like it's like LGBTQ, right? Plus community. So why don't they have LGN in there? Why don't they have the N in there?
So what does the I stand for in there?
Intersex.
Is that the same thing as binary?
No, intersex in that you're born that way, aren't you?
Oh, is that like a? I hope this is not.
Hermaphrodite.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
gonna
what
say.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's different. That's different.
Okay.
Yeah, they're born that way and they're not changing it.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
you
that's
like,
different.
because the parent, how parents would make that choice for them when they were born. But now this new generation of parents, if they're born that way, they're not changing it. They're letting them pick what they want to be, whether they want to be boy or girl, since they have both parts.
The thing is, you still only have one set of like reproductive organs, though. I don't think you get both.
No, it's like when
And
you're,
the
I think
scrotum
when you're
or
like when you're a hermaphrodite, your vaginal area looks bigger like a penis, right?
Well,
But
no,
you
like you'll have both. Like I think
still have,
it's underneath.
yeah,
So
but I think I
your
get what you're saying.
reproductive
Either
organs.
they'll have ovaries or they'll have a scrotum. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
right.
yeah,
Yeah. And then they have to pick, they can pick,
yeah.
because in the past the parents used to pick and have them have their surgery when they were babies. So they never knew that they had that issue until they were trying to conceive or have kids and they couldn't.
That meant somebody picked wrong. Then we just messed up.
Yeah. So anyways, it's just, oh, that's right, it is LGBT. And then they don't even go in order. Shouldn't I be
Yeah.
first?
Yeah, it's like LGBTQ.
G should be first.
Mhm. I think they go in the order that they started recognizing each one.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Sean. Look at you. Thank you for that.
Oh, it's nice. Okay, Sean.
LGBTQI. Isn't there an A in there now?
Yeah, and then I think it's an A.
Oh, yeah, because there are people who say they're asexual.
That's so stupid.
That's not non-binary. Or is it?
They're not with anybody. Those people. They just want to be to themselves. So you just want to be single. Like, just say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just this whole
I
thing.
know none don't call themselves asexual.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like you just want to be single. That's all. You never want to date anybody. Okay, just be single. Like you don't have to put a thing on it. You're just always single. Like you don't want to date male or female.
You just want to date yourself.
I guess, but that's what I'm saying. So this stuff that's becoming acceptable. Like I shouldn't have to recognize some of this stuff as a thing because I can walk in and out of a place and you know what I'm saying? Like I walk in and out of a place, you don't need to know if I sleep with men, women, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So why is it their sexual orientation becoming like the type? You know what I'm saying? Like why? How would I even know that you're asexual? How would I know? Why do I celebrate this? Just be that. Just be that and move on. Like only thing I say, I guess, is the pronoun thing, and I really felt like the pronoun thing was more prominent for like transgender people, and now everybody's just taking it, and I'm like, this is getting out of hand. And the only reason for transgender is because you can't always tell, like sometimes the person just they change don't look like what they changed to, and so it makes sense. You know what I mean? Or maybe they changed and the name didn't, and so you need to know their pronoun because are you a male or a female? I don't know. I don't want to offend you. That makes sense because they actually changed physically. But the gay stuff and you want to have boyfriends and wives and it probably and I'm saying all that stuff shouldn't even be a thing. Like we shouldn't even have conversations about that stuff.
But it's weird because we're allowing children to be able to make the choices about their sexuality, but they can't make a choice about their bedtime. So it's like really weird how all of a sudden all this has just changed in the power we're giving children. They're children.
When we are having children have discussions about things that I feel like they're not mature enough to kind of.
And they're introducing it all over the place. I was so upset with Eternals. All the Marvel films we've had, they have never addressed sexuality. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just always been maybe a little pet kiss here, blah, 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 done, whatever. But Eternals, oh, I was pissed. I was so pissed because I was not prepared that they were going to have a whole full out one sex scene. And then two, they were going to have a gay couple on there making out like crazy. And I'm just like, what the hell? This is supposed to be fighter superhero crap. I'm not supposed to be worried about my kids seeing this in a
it's like,
superhero movie. We're just
Yeah,
supposed to
like
be
I-
fighting and kicking ass. That's it.
right. So can they not be gay without having a makeout scene?
Yeah, like, why do we have to see that? And
'Cause I
then,
remember for the longest, straight couples couldn't make out and stuff on TV. And then if you watch like older shows, like I Love, when they went in the bedroom, there was two twin size beds in the parents' bedroom.
right, they didn't like you thinking that they slept in the same bedroom, even though Lucy walking around pregnant. You're like, well, how did Lucy get pregnant if she's sleeping in a separate bed?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's just we're doing too much and we're introducing too much. Let kids be kids. They shouldn't even be worried about this stuff right now and be done with it. It's just too much. You're putting it in our cartoons. You're putting it in everything for them to see. I mean, when you look at those new Disney Channel shows and Nickelodeon shows, you have all the transgender stuff in there. Now I got to sit here and explain what that is. Like, just stop. It's just too much. It's too much. And I don't think enough people are making it annoyed that it is too much.
That's
I
why
don't know what'll make it happen to
And
where
this is
we can just finally say, just stop. You know what? How about I don't see sex at all? How about I don't see this at all? How about you don't put this at all in there?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when you look at movies and how they've progressed in movies, we didn't have sex before, and they still were blockbusters.
Yeah.
So take it all out.
I remember when I was a kid on ABC, they didn't even cuss. Now, they be throwing around left and right, but they did not
there's only
cuss.
certain words they won't say. Yeah.
But yeah, like
How
this is
long is that gonna be before they can actually say them? I'm like, look, it was a comedian, and I hate to even just say that it's true, but one comedian did say, "Hey, you could kill a black person and you can't hurt a gay person's feelings," and it's the truth. Without there being controversy, it's true, and that's sad. That's sad. Like racism can't go away, but yet we got to know all of you. Schools can't teach about real life history, but they can teach about transgenders and sexual orientations. Like that doesn't make sense. You bring up racism and it's like, oh, that's a no-no, but then
yeah, that's too sensitive. And you're right. You know what? At the end of the day, I do believe we should be teaching our kids all this kind of stuff, but there's an age to teach them that.
Mm-hmm.
A kindergartner should not really be learning about slavery. They can't process it. You know, I'll never forget the story of my daughter, her and her friend, they're black and white. And in first grade, they learned about slavery. And I don't know how it was taught, but her friend felt so much remorse and went to Cheyenne and was just like crying, like, I'm so sorry I did that to you. And Cheyenne's and they're like, what you do to me? Like, you didn't do anything to me. Well, we had you enslaved and we did this and we treated you badly. And Cheyenne's just like, it wasn't me. She's not processing the guilt that she's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that this 6-year-old is feeling all this guilt from something that happened hundreds of years ago. If you're going to discuss it when they're older and they can process that it happened in the past, that it's not happening right now.
I agree with you, Johnny. And then as far as like LGBTQI things, I feel like we should be teaching acceptance, not what it is they're doing. And at 6 months old, we're having a gender reveal party. I feel like we can get into the meat and the potatoes of everything once they get a bit older. That's my concern with it. And like I heard
like middle
at a
school
daycare,
would
they were
probably be
doing, you have to pick the gender in daycare. And I'm like, at daycare, like you got my 2-year-old deciding whether they want to be a boy or a girl. Like, no.
Yeah, and then but they can't. But I'm sure you're telling them when to go take a nap.
Yeah, and what they're gonna have for lunch.
Like when did we start as parents allowing our kids to dictate to us what's going to happen? It's just weird. It's so weird. And you can't pinpoint it on one particular thing, but the way the world is going is definitely scary. And of course it is predicted, but it's scary living it
Yeah.
because you're
All right. Well,
watching it just go down more and more into Crazyville.
yeah. Well, this has been an interesting conversation. I'm not quite sure how we landed on it, but
Spiritual marriage.
oh yeah, the spiritual marriage thing. Okay. So let's go into the last couple that we saw. I'll call this. I'm going to say, what was her name? Tay or Ty? I'm not sure how she's pronounced.
Yeah, I thought
Tia,
it was
right?
Tia. I thought it was Tia.
Oh, I wrote TAI for some reason.
I think it was Tia. But I mean, hell, she's all the way backwards, so it could be TAI spelled, and she says it Tia
Yeah.
because she's backwards.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe I wrote it
yeah,
down wrong.
TIA. No, I got TIA. Is that what you got? Oh, you got
I had
TAA. I got
TAI.
TIA.
Yeah, I probably just wrote it
Yeah,
down
Ronnie.
wrong because I was eating too while I was watching this. Oh, I was digging into some good barbecue.
No, no, I
Okay.
got TAI.
Oh, okay.
I got
You
TAI.
got TAI too?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I
Well,
guess
again,
we can
she's
figure it out.
backwards all the way around, so it's all well.
Oh yeah, she is the thought of this season.
She is the thought of the prison community.
Yes, we
Oh my
thought
God.
Nicole was a thought. Oh no, oh no. We need to come up with a since we don't know what her name is. We should come up with a nickname. I'm gonna call her SS. Super slut.
Well, can she really be called that? Because she's not sleeping with all these men. She's just
Well, I
talking
guess she's
to them.
not. Yeah, she's not technically sexing them. So I guess
So
maybe
we're talking lip service. So she's giving a lot of lip service.
okay, yes. So she's going to be lip service. Okay, so we have lip service, and she introduces to her, let me put it in air quotes, her guy, Heidi. In a second, y'all find out why I'm saying her guy. All right, so she opens up and she says she wants an educated and hood, and she enjoys dating convicts. She said her dad wasn't in her life and had a long distance kind of parenting thing with her. So dating inmates is kind of the same way. Distance parent. So as a local drug dealer. I'm sorry, he was a local rapper, but he was arrested for drug trafficking. Like I just make that all up, right? And so he got sentenced to 8 to 10 years. Um, and she says that she talks to at least 2 inmates a week.
10.
So then things start.
Yeah,
And
10.
then, huh?
Yeah, it was 10.
Oh, it's 10 of them. Okay. Because right here I kind of was. Yeah, 8 to 10 men a week. That's what she says. And so at first I was thinking that she was only doing 2 inmates. That's where that came from. I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so it did appear because we see her receive a phone call while she's on the phone with Heidi from another inmate. But that's not the end of that. So then she shows us her wall where she has a vision board of her inmate men. Which, I'm sorry, I was going. I almost got my heart at this point.
That's not what visions are for.
Right. I was like, oh, she's taking a whole new turn on the vision board.
Yeah, I know.
All right. And so she says, then from the vision board, they move over to her project board. These men, right? And project board, if you make it off the project board, you make it onto her calendar. So she has an organization system for all the inmates she's talking to.
Yeah, and her calendar is called the to-do list.
Yes. Now, I thought it was bad when Dennis from Portia's show was calling the woman he's dating work. But this, I mean, she took this to a whole nother level. And so we also see on this episode, she reveals that she's been receiving blocked phone calls, where the person blocks their number on their caller ID. And she's answering and she's yelling and screaming like, I don't know how far you're going to get with that. But the person actually responds to her once when she picks up the phone, and she says that she's Heidi's girl. And we see her and the girl kind of going back and forth. They're arguing, and then Heidi calls, and she adds them on the line together. And then there's a bunch of screaming going on. Can't really understand what's going on. Um, and then that's kind of where the scene basically ends. What did y'all think about how lip service and Heidi?
I just
Oh,
have to say,
Phoebe, one of the guys' names.
I just have to say, as Black women, I just always get annoyed when they find the one that fits the stereotype. Why in the world are we fighting, and I say we as Black women, over a man in jail? Like, I don't understand. She supposedly has been with Hottie for 12 years. She finds, I guess, her number, however. She calls and keeps realizing it's a woman, finally says something, but you should be talking to him. Why?
Right.
You know that she ain't seen him.
With him.
So you're mad at the lip service?
Yeah. And what I couldn't figure out is how did she remotely get lip service's number unless Heidi, well, maybe somebody in the prison took it from Heidi and gave it to her, maybe. I don't know. But that's what
probably from the phone bill. You can still find the phone bill and pull out phone numbers. Or Amy has a prepaid card.
Now maybe
he has a prepaid card.
Now I know like all of the calls that come from the prison, they originally have to be collect calls. Now they may have been doing some three-way calling or something. Now something I did know that they would do sometimes, like the prisoner, let's say me and you were doing time together. If you made me mad, I may figure out your man's address and write him and tell him what you're doing. And then I remember one time, girl stole another inmate's boyfriend.
Well, Mike, I think the difference when you hear him say collect call, they don't say collect. They say it's a prepaid call, which isn't that a card where you like prepay for minutes?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she has access to the numbers he's calling on that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I just think it's just weird that even if you did find her number while he's in jail, why are you calling her about it?
Right.
I guess to make it stop. Like, he ain't gonna stop talking to you, so I'm gonna make you stop talking to him.
How you make it stop? Stop paying for his damn prepaid card.
Yeah, but this is the thing. He can't go and sleep with her.
Exactly. What are we getting mad over?
Upset? You know, like Johnny said, are you upset by their conversation? What do you think is going to happen? Especially if he's doing No, I'm sorry, I messed up with that. He's doing a big bid, but I don't.
But so she is a woman. She is a woman of 3 kids who obviously has male issues. That's why she's dating men in prison, because they're not coming around her. Mm-hmm. So she has a lot of issues with that. But my whole thing is when they actually showed the previews and she meets the woman and they actually fight. Like, what are you fighting for? Yeah. And she's almost 40. Like, and you got 3 kids and they're not little kids. Your daughter, when her daughter handed her the phone, I don't know if y'all paid attention to that look she gave her, but she gave her that look of pathetic. Like, oh, you're pathetic. You know what I'm saying? She had her eyes rolled up like, ugh, I can't believe you're talking. From the vibes I got from her, it was, I can't believe you're talking to somebody in prison. Or it could be, damn, she probably even knows how many men she talks to. Because she answers it on speaker in front of them. So they already know that you're talking to men in prison.
And that you're talking to multiple
men. You have a freaking room dedicated to it. You don't think they don't go in there and look?
Yeah, and then she said that Heidi was her main one, but that other guy that called in, she told him she sent him money. So she's also sending money to multiple men too.
And she got 3 kids. Like, I mean, your priorities are totally whack right now. Maybe wait till your kids are out of high school and then start talking to your inmates. Like, her whole storyline is just horrible. I'm interested to see how this goes, because and then I don't know if y'all caught that at the end with We TV. It said, because before it's always said if you're starting a relationship or in a relationship with the prisoner, please call us, or, But at the end of this episode, it said if you're in a relationship or multiple relationships with
I saw
inmates,
that.
please give us a call.
Yeah, I saw that.
They so messy. They're messy, but you know what? I like it.
Yes, totally. It's like you, and she's actually a pretty girl. She doesn't even,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Because I think it's her daddy issues.
Yeah, but she's taking her daddy issues to a whole
Too
nother
far.
level.
Yeah,
Because
she's
it's
taking
like so
yeah.
many people have grown up without a father, so many women. But yeah, you might be one of them people who turn out to like date the wrong men and all this. But this whole multiple prisoners thing, this is a whole new level.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, when you have daddy issues, you only want to date older men and stuff like that.
well,
So,
or you just might just
but
pick the wrong man because you never had an example.
But the
But
crazy thing is, we don't necessarily know her father's issues. We don't know why he moved all the way across the country. On top of the fact, it's hard to, who knows why he couldn't fly her out there or why he couldn't come back, couldn't afford it. But the fact that he made time for her every week or every day to call and telephone call and actually see her on video chat is more than what most men do when they go across, town
when
like that
they
or
go across
country
the
like
street,
that.
they're
Yeah.
not that much, you know.
So she actually had more of a relationship with her father
yeah,
than
than most.
people
Yeah, that a
who
lot of
don't
people have.
have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's just crazy. All right, Sean. So tell us your thoughts on lip service.
What was it with her? I don't think I wrote anything down about her. Yeah. Well, one of the things,
You see him thumbing through his notes.
yeah, because one thing she had said that I think she was in the bed and she was talking about she hadn't had sex with a real man for like 7 years.
Yeah, they did show a clip of that. I was like,
Right.
when is that coming? Because it looked like she had on the same outfit.
Mm,
Yeah, that she hasn't been touched by a man in 7 years or whatever.
right.
I think that's
And
one
then,
of them little shorts they throw in there sometimes.
yeah,
Ah,
and based off of that statement and based off of the way that she talks to 8 to 10 different prisoners a week, and she have two main guys, one Hottie, 8 months, and then BB. She said she'd been involved with him for 4 years.
That's boyfriend number 2.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
I'd be
that's
mad. I'd be mad if I was him.
hmm And then I don't see her having being touched by a man because based off of way she's living her life, I don't think she really wants to be involved in a real relationship because I don't think she would know how to do that because she said that she
yeah,
only knows how to do the convicts and that's all she wants a convict. So she likes that 8 to 10 different guys. She have total control of it. If one guy messes up, she can drop that guy and just pick up another prisoner.
yeah,
And and then just keep on
yeah.
going. And if they make the two the last board, she give them $150 because that's how much it was for the two people on every other week. She dropped money on their books. They keep on talking to her, and she feel like she's in a committed relationship until like Hottie's situation comes along and she sees that she's not in a committed relationship with Hottie, even though she's not in a committed relationship with Hottie. So, she see
Did
that Hottie's
y'all,
in a committed relationship with her.
yeah,
Uh,
did y'all see how upset that Heidi is not just monogamous with her? But it's like, look at what you're doing. You have no right. You have a vision board of men that you picked to move over to. I gotta look at my notes. I forget what was that other board called. Oh, to the project board, and then onto your calendar. Like, girl, like you cannot get upset if all of them had somebody on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But that's ego.
Yeah,
That's her ego. And if she's doing it to be protected because she feels like a man in prison won't be able to hurt her the way a man physically can, then now she's actually getting hurt because he's already playing her and he hasn't even been talking to her that long.
correct.
And then this lady, she said that she's been in a relationship with him for 12 years. So she's obviously been with him physically and is trying to
Yeah,
support him while he's in jail.
Yeah, she has actually, got a dip by that, and
Yeah.
whereas
So again, how can you fight her? Like,
right,
how can you fight the woman he's actually been with?
right.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, but that's too much. I just can't imagine confronting another woman about a man that is currently in prison. But we're about
In
to be
prison. I mean, what you confront him for? His minutes when
right.
he gets
My
to
thing,
talk to
because
you on his breaks.
yeah, because look, you gotta do is stop sending money to him, stop answering his phone calls. That's
That's
gonna hurt him
it.
a lot more than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, she already got 10 in rotation. She can easily get one more. I don't understand why this one is such a big deal. Why you like him so much more that it's making you go and physically fight someone he's actually been with.
They say ego.
And then, like I said, it's bad because her kids are not little. So her daughter, who already shows that she, just by the look on her face when she handed her the phone, you're just giving her more ammo to start the whole disrespect thing because she's losing respect for you.
Yeah. And
Losing mad
another thing that I noticed too that I was like, it don't make sense. And she was over there like, well, how can he be talking to her? Because he spends all his time talking to me. But obviously he doesn't. If you got time to spend chatting with all these men, making vision boards that turn into, all these 3 different things. So you're maintaining your vision board, you're maintaining the people who you're trying to get to know, and you're maintaining the people that you do like. So these people are getting time on the phone or on the video. These people you obviously are talking to somehow because you're getting to know them. And then the vision board, I guess, is the prisoners you found and you're gonna try to talk to. I don't know, but I'm like, but it seems like, and then she has it. If she's putting money on their books, she got to be working. You're also a mom. You cook because she said she likes to cook. She likes to eat.
Yes,
So you,
she's a mortician.
yeah. So you're doing your thing too. So where it seemed like to me he has plenty of time because you're not on the phone 24/7 like you think you are.
Right.
Now,
So that comment didn't even make sense.
what
Right.
be funny is if they go visit him in prison and see that he has a board too.
She on there, the girlfriend, another one.
Uh,
But I'm like, yeah, that whole thing, like it is like you said, it's an ego thing. She don't want to get played by none of them, but she's playing all of them, which don't make sense. Because I was like, even when she said the boyfriend number 2, she been with for 4 years. I'm like, well, then really he's number 1 because he was there before the other one. But
Yeah, he's
whatever.
been there.
But I'm
Yeah,
like,
his
whatever.
storyline is so crazy to me. I was like, I'm exhausted just trying to keep up with all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Exhausted. And then,
It's too
like I said,
much.
I was a bit disappointed also seeing children were in on, you know,
Hearing it.
not to say that there's phone calls, but clearly they know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're just doing too much.
And them vision boards are in the open. I'm sure they come in her room.
Yeah. And
and
then did you see the little files that she had next to the vision board? I was like, I know she ain't got files on this man.
Yeah, girl, she had a whole filing system.
Oh man.
She had a whole filing cabinet. And then when she's done with them, she takes out their file and hopefully shreds it.
She got 2 full-time jobs.
That's a lot.
I don't know how she do it. When does she sleep?
When did she cook the meal?
Well, I guess that's the one good thing about the inmates because they do get locked down for the night. So then maybe she gets some free time at that point. Maybe I don't
Yeah,
know.
but she cooked during the day, so I'm like,
That has
dang.
to be when she has her vision board time at the night. Because,
Yeah.
they stop calling, at 9 o'clock, maybe 10?
Yeah, because you got to start organizing everything.
hopefully they all on the same time zone though.
I know.
Oh,
They're probably not.
You're
Yeah,
right. They probably aren't.
Yeah, she probably got them spread out throughout the United States.
She does because she had the map on there showing where each guy was.
I forgot that she did have a map too.
Mm-hmm.
So
She
that
had
was
their
in addition
names
to the vision board project
on
board.
where they were on the state.
But spreading them out probably helps because then some start calling at this time, the next ones won't start to this, and then they end. These have to stop by this time. So then she got time. She can make time to talk to everybody. But I just feel like, how do you keep up with your stories? How do you keep up with, you know what I'm saying? Who is who and what is what?
Remember?
But
She
like
was
how
like,
she was running back and forth on the phone, I'd have messed that up.
yeah.
I mean, the fact that she has 2 separate phones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that we know of. She might have more than 2 phones. But then what I didn't understand is, well, I guess she'd have to answer when he calls because otherwise he's just going to keep calling. But I thought it was funny, her excuse that she burnt something.
Yeah.
And what did she say? She burnt something and the smell is getting
The
so
oodles
bad.
and noodles or something.
Yeah. And I was sitting there listening to her say that. And I'm like, I'm surprised he didn't say, well, where's the fire alarm?
Yeah.
You know, because if you burn something, when you have heard the fire alarm going off.
Yeah, but you know what? He didn't ask because he trusts her. He was thinking, what is she doing? But really,
Yeah.
That or he don't care.
And it was crazy because the phone, technically, she didn't leave the room. It looked like she has a little den off of her bedroom. And she was just like on her bed, and the other phone was laying on their desk next to the vision board. And I'm like, huh?
Well, she did say hold on. So she could have put it on mute or hold or whatever.
But you remember when she first answered the phone, he was still talking.
Yeah. Because sometimes be careful with that. I'll be thinking I'm on mute and I'm not.
Mm-hmm. It's happened to me.
Having a lot of people even in the Zoom world.
I know, right?
They lost their jobs over that stuff.
Yeah, it was funny. I know one day I was on the phone with the pharmacy and I thought they had put me on hold. I could have sworn I heard them say hold on. And then all of a sudden somebody had cut me off and I was like, I wasn't like yelling out the car, but I'm talking to myself like that stupid bee. And all of a sudden I heard a giggle and I was like, oh my God, you heard me. She's like, yeah, I heard you.
I wouldn't have taken that prescription. Hey, don't tell her what she put in your prescription bottle.
She may have been like, she
crazy. She
gave me some placebos.
This might be making her a little crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or look, she upped the dose. You ain't even know it.
Yeah. And then it was like I said, because I don't necessarily just yell while I'm in traffic. If I'm road raging, I really don't, because I fight with other people. But I still, so I said it, like don't, whatever, and she heard it. So that was the funny thing. I'm like, oh, she's got some good ears.
See, I don't trust that hold on thing because, like, at my old job, we'll say hold on, but we just release the push to talk.
Yeah.
You can't hear. But yeah, we had headsets on, so when the people would talk, we still could hear them. They just couldn't hear us because we might be asking a question to one of the other ones, or like, hey, what's his number? Or what, And then like somebody said something crazy about me, and I'm like, oh wow, you calling me that? He was like, oh no, I was talking to somebody else. I'm like, nah, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Friday night's episode, the premiere of Love During Lockup. I think this is going to be an interesting season. I've already figured out the people that I want to see more about, and then there's some people I'm not invested yet or hasn't sparked an interest for me. I don't know how you guys are feeling about the episode. I felt like the episode was pretty good. I did like some of the clips that they were showing for like the next episode. And it also looks like we're going to be introduced to some more couples. I hope they don't give us too many couples because then things start getting confusing. And then I don't know if you guys saw that preview for the next Love After Lockup. Looks like they said it's be totally new couples.
Yeah, in March.
I don't know why. I assumed that some people from this show would probably make it into that one, but I guess not. It's going to be all new people.
Cool.
Yeah, so interesting. All right. So, do y'all have anything that we skipped with this episode?
There was one thought I had. You know how boy, the one who we said he's young, he's like 24, and the girl like 37. The one who's
Harry.
Like, is that Harry?
And Andy.
Harry and who?
Andy.
No, not them. She's not that much older. She's only like a couple years older than him. The one that's 37, that's the dude that looks like Metro.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tara and Max.
he's like 24, and then she's like 37. So I'm thinking
24. He looks like he's 34.
he's 24, 25, something like that. I had wrote his put his age, but I just thought about it, he is young.
Houston, we
Yeah,
got a problem.
he's 24, she's 37. So maybe that's the reason he just kind of threw a fit and left and all that stuff when she didn't come on at 7. You know, he's like 7:15. And I get it, like you don't want to wait, but she's also a prisoner, so she don't necessarily have control of her life. So maybe that's why
somebody
he
else
couldn't
could have.
understand that either.
Yeah,
And I'm
somebody
thinking,
else's video call could have ran. But I
yeah,
guess that makes sense. His immaturity.
yeah, he's immature and she a grown. She probably was like, oh well, couldn't make it, or something happened and she wasn't worried about it. She is 37. I think she might be, well, her and Tia, whatever, same age. They're the oldest ones on there. I don't know how she gonna act, but I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, there's a big age difference with them, so maybe I don't know. He been a little extra because he's young.
Worried, and I hope it's not. I don't know how to say this. I just hope that he really does like women, and it's not one of those situations. I guess. But I haven't seen how vested she is. I guess for me to be really concerned about.
Yeah. I mean, he said he's dated women. He just probably one that look like that. I've seen straight men that look like that.
And then usually I'm like,
yeah, I mean, everybody questions it, but I've seen it. Like,
yeah. I mean, you're very right about that. Every time I see Chris Chrisley, I think that's his name.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like, But I mean, it's none of my business what he's doing. But I just, I don't know. I don't know why that's just getting to me so much. All right. I guess we can go ahead and close out here. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button on your way out. Thank you for watching. And next back for a recap of the next episode of Love During Lockup. And until next time, friends, we'll see ya. Bye.